MGF Utility Trench Boxes are simple to assemble, robust, two-sided excavation support systems designed to be installed by an excavator using the excavate and lower technique. The panels are 3 meters long by 2.5 meters high and are specifically designed for use with utility repairs where ground movement is not critical. They feature bolted high-clearance struts which enables an understrut clearance of 1,950 millimeters. There are 2 lengths of rigid strut extensions which allow for trench widths of between 1.6 to 4 meters. Utility trench boxes should not be used in very weak ground, especially very soft clays and peats, or where significant groundwater is present. Prior to assembling the systems, the components should be laid out on timber skids on clear level ground and inspected. Ensure all components are present and undamaged. Utility trench box panels should be laid so the panel strut connection is pointing skyward. The struts can now be bolted together. To achieve the desired trench width, please refer to the MGF technical file for details on the strut configurations. The struts extensions should be assembled in a horizontal orientation prior to installing on the panels. Handle the extensions using a 2-leg chain attached to the lift points on the upper flange. Strut end plates are bolted together using 10mm 24x70 bolts and nuts, with a recommended minimum torque setting of 400 Nm. Be aware of finger trap hazards throughout the assembly procedure. Once the required struts are assembled, they should be moved into a vertical position by attaching a 2-leg chain to the lift points welded to the web of the beam. Ensure the struts are orientated so the lift points on the flange point towards the top of the panel. Carefully lower the strut and line up the end plates. Ensure the strut cannot move and is stable prior to approaching to install the bolts. Once all bolts are connected, the lifting chains can be removed. Once both struts are installed, the opposing panel can be installed by first flipping it over with a 2-leg chain, so the strut connecting plate is facing the ground. It's recommended to chock in front of the panel to prevent it from sliding. A 4-leg chain can now be attached to the 4 accessible lifting points, the 2 upper points and the 2 lift points on the bottom corners of the panel. Ensure to adjust the legs of the lifting chains so the panel can lift level. Great care must be taken to ensure the connecting plates line up. Once the upper panel is stable and lined up, the remaining bolts can be installed. It is recommended to avoid the need to work at height, as far as practicably possible. Should the overall strut extensions be over 2 meters, then it is recommended to flip the panel which is connected to the struts and lower that onto the other panel, so the final connection can be done at ground level. The assembled system can now be moved into a vertical position, ready for installation into the excavation, by using 2 chain legs connected to the upper lift points to flip the panel, as previously. The excavation must be dug to full depth prior to lowering the box in. Ensure the ground is self-supporting in the short term. It is recommended to slightly over-dig the width of the excavation to allow the system to be simply lowered into place. Ensure the box is level and secure. If required, slightly backfill against the panels to remove any trip hazards. Safety equipment should now be installed. Subject to a final inspection, the excavation is now safe to enter. Before removing the system, all safety products should be removed. If there is no significant extraction forces, then the system can simply be removed by lifting out of the excavation using a 4-leg chain. If there are significant extraction forces, due to adhesion between the excavation walls and the panels, then it is recommended to use an extraction chain to overcome these forces. The extraction chain should be installed on each of the 4 upper lift points, in turn, to apply a steady, vertical load. This should now allow the panel to lift it out using a 4-leg chain, prior to backfilling within the excavation. If the 4-leg chain is still unable to remove the box, then it is recommended to remove the system using the extraction chain in a progressive backfilling sequence. For further details, please refer to MGF box extraction guidance.